waiting on fries that you don't get it? What do you mean you don't get waiting on fries?
Hopefully the customer never hears waiting on fries, but all this time on the entree and it's perfectly executed and then you're like,
ready
fuck,
to go.
I forgot to fire the fries.
I just always use that when I forgot to put somebody's order in, and I was like, hey, I'm just waiting on the fries. It's gonna be 2 more minutes.
We figured it's getting busy.
It's about to get busy. Summer is approaching. We've had 2 solid weeks of good business levels, you know?
Of getting our asses kicked.
I don't think it's a fluke anymore. I think this is just the reality.
Or it's just second, what is it called?
False spring?
I don't know why I can't ever just lock that in. False spring.
Yeah.
False spring, whatever it is. And the stimulus checks are out, so people are spending more money than they would have been anyway.
Yeah.
So, like, this is giving people a reason to be out. And, it's a testament just talking to all our buddies in the various different places that we work, where they all said they've also had their asses handed to them over the last
It's funny.
few weeks.
Everybody's feeling the same thing.
Totally.
You don't feel left out.
So the thing is, we're going to kind of keep it short and sweet to some extent. We know there's a lot going on inside the restaurants, and you guys got a lot of things to prep for and get things going.
You got to get ready for the summer.
So we're just going to help them.
Yeah.
Get ready for the summer.
Exactly.
And what are we going to hit them with?
We're going to hit them with a top 10 list of ideas to help get people in the door.
The top 10 list of ideas to help get people in the door. Door. Stereo. So with that said, there's so many different ways that owners can be bringing up their cash sheets. There's so many ways they could be getting more people in the door, bringing up their check averages. Whichever way you want to look at it and whatever you want to call it doesn't matter to me. All you want is more money going into the bank. That way you could pay back some of these debts that you have from COVID still anyway. And let's look at number 10. It's the very first thing on this list, and it's a press release.
Real simple, real straightforward.
These numbers aren't, by the way, like locked in as numbers fully, but they're like in a roundabout area of like importance.
Just to give us some order.
Yeah, you need order in our life. So press releases.
Jay, what's a press release?
So the press release it's essentially just a sheet of paper, and digitally it's a digital PDF or a document.
Right.
And all that document is really saying is, hey, we are this company. We reside here. This is our information and contacts. This is what we have going on. So in big bold letters at the top, BOGO, buy one, get one is happening, or live music on the patio, or this is what we're featuring this summer, and this is what we have going for you.
Right. So once you have all that information listed, you hand it out to your local news station or your local magazine or a local blogger or whatever.
Totally.
And they just take it and run with it, and then you're exposed to their audience.
So exactly. And what you're doing is almost kind of like you're setting up the article for them to write by giving them enough information.
Or the ad for them to run.
And that's exactly what we learn early on in school is the who, what, where, when, why, how. If you mark all of these areas down on what you're putting together on paper, then you're going to send this off to the emails of, like you said, the local newspapers or the local magazines or the local bloggers, and they might actually take that in because content is king and they need content to operate and get ad sales. They're going to put you up.
Right.
Like, this is not hard to get. When people are out here and they go, oh, how the hell did they get the feature in this magazine? Because they have somebody working for them that's smart enough to be doing this, and maybe it's a dedicated marketing area or spot or job that these restaurants have, but they are constantly reaching out to everybody to make sure that their name is always in somebody's mouth. And then later on, their food, right?
There you go. That's
so,
the
like,
goal.
It's easy enough to do. There's enough examples of press releases online. All you have to do is twiddle your fingers together a little bit, send out the email blast, get it where it needs to go, and then maybe follow up. Don't be afraid to wait a week if you don't hear anything back, and send another one out.
Yeah.
Maybe this time customize it a little bit more. There's a lot of different ways to do this, and it's important and it's easy enough to do where it's not going to take you a hell of a lot of time to possibly get yourself in a magazine or a newspaper article.
No, because especially at the end of the day, you got to think that all of these people that you're potentially reaching out to are looking for content to post. So if you provide them the relevant content, they're just going to shoot it out there.
Yeah, and that actually takes us into like number 9 too, to some extent, which is having live music.
Yeah.
And one of your PR campaigns could be live music on the porch.
Simple.
Live music on Friday nights.
Straightforward.
Whatever it is. And again, people want to post this information. They're not necessarily charging you for it. They need articles so they can make money.
Exactly.
Just do the goddamn legwork and you will get more people in the building. I promise it.
Whoa. Take it easy. Take it easy.
I'm very passionate about this right now.
Jay is very passionate about.
So let's talk about the live music. It's number 9 on the list here. And with that, Like, do you think that people should have a heavy metal rock band at 6 p.m.?
I mean, heavy metal may not be the proper look for your establishment, I guess. Depending on who your clientele is. But, I mean, for the average run-of-the-mill restaurant or bar, death metal at 6 p.m. is probably going to drive people away.
Now, what are you thinking about in your head right here? Are you thinking maybe it costs me too much? Oh, I don't have the budget to be able to afford having some musicians come in here and do music? You're wrong. It's maybe $200 to $300 depending for a couple hours to have somebody come in. You're getting more people in the door potentially. They're going to be drinking. They're going to be having a little bit of food. They might hang out. You're going to be
providing a good experience for the people that come in the door.
Yeah, and people are going to hang out longer, which means that they're going to see a crowded room longer, and they're going to tell all their friends how crowded it was on band night, and everyone was having a great time.
And then if you think about the long game, those people are going to remember that this is where I went out and had a good time. They're going to tell their friends, and they're going to show up again.
Yeah, you know what the biggest fear that somebody should have is that them telling their friends that it was completely empty and there was nobody in there at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock. And then that's what's going to be in your memory, not the good times that you had with the music playing. And then your concern too might be, all right, yes, it's $250 average-ish. That's a lot of money. Well, these guys like to have drinks.
Yeah.
You give them a little $50 spend at the bar. That way they could have some beers while they're playing.
You can't go into it and be upset about $250. You got to hope you're going to make multiples of that back over the course of the night with all the people in there drinking and enjoying
Sure.
themselves.
And furthermore, you're going to get money back from the band or the guy that's playing anyway because they're going to go to the bar and they're going to get drinks.
They're going to run a tab.
That's what these guys do a lot of times. They're not even there to make money. They have regular jobs. They're there to have drinks on the house, kind of, and you just pay them $250 to be out amongst getting their songs listened to by people that are out eating.
Yeah.
Like this stuff isn't too hard, and you do have to make conscious decisions. I know with COVID, obviously, we killed a lot of expenses.
Yeah, but let's knock on wood. Things are coming back.
Oh yeah, so I mean, summer's here. We're looking to get people into the restaurants.
Summer's here.
We're looking to get them into the bars. A lot of places have patios outside. A lot of places also do not have patios outside. So we have to work twice as hard in the establishments that don't really have outside areas and seating to get people into the door because you're competing with all the rooftop places or all of the places that have big patios, or big grassland areas that serve booze. Like, these things exist, and you have to be twice as nimble in figuring out how to get the people in the door. So right now matters the most.
So let's say if your venue can't host live music, maybe you can host some other type of event?
Yeah, and funny enough, you're right. And that takes us to 8 on the list.
There you go.
And that's just having live events, period. And it doesn't mean music necessarily.
No, I mean, usually events do include music, but it's not necessarily limited to music.
Yeah, so what are some of the events that exist out there?
Well, I mean, a few of the big ones. Burger Blast was good. Best of Westchester is always fun. But coming up even closer is Brisket King.
So those are huge events. They're big. They cost a lot of money to put on.
Yeah.
They happen once a year because they are a big event, and you need to generate the hype. You can't do it every week. You're not going to have 1 million people show up if that's the case. But our venues are smaller than that too. So if that's one of the yearly events that occur, let's go down. What's a monthly event that occurs?
A good monthly event would be the Bourbon Dinner Series at Smokehouse.
Oh, sure. Perfect example. Yeah. Where essentially people are paying XX amount for a ticket.
I believe it's 60 to 100 depending on what's being poured and what's being served. But you pay for a ticket, then you get access to this 3-course dinner of 3 courses paired with a specific bourbon.
And that sounds cool, and that's something
it's
that
really
you come
cool.
out to. So it's not regular food on the menu.
No, it's 3 special courses.
So it's special, right? You just said it right there. It's special
courses, yeah.
And they're things that people don't typically get in this space.
Yep.
And this does a number of things for your business, right? This gives you a little bit more culture and helps you build on that, which is always great. People see culture instantly. They see it.
It gives people something to look forward to. It's always nice to be able to mark your calendar off and say, hey, I got this coming up in X amount of days or X amount of weeks.
Yeah. So, you could bang out something like that once a month, but then also you could break down another night to do another event that's more like a weekly thing.
There you go. And that's your trivia or Taco Tuesday type thing.
It's your trivia, your Taco Tuesday stuff. This exists.
Ladies' night, that's always a fun one.
Yeah, and it gets people in the door. Yeah. And the more creative you are with things, I think the
happier your guests are going to be.
Totally. And you also have to try to do things that aren't exactly the same as your neighbors. You need to create a different day. You need to create something that nobody else is really doing if you really want to be an all-star in doing events.
I mean, if you're going to make Taco Tuesday on the same block as 5 other guys, your tacos better be amazing.
Oh, correct. And they better be a whole different type of taco, too. And you don't want to get into a price war with your neighbors.
No, definitely not. You just want to stand out and set yourself apart, but for the right reasons.
It's also not uncommon in the bars, too, where bars are paying for DJs to go to their neighbor bars and say, hey, guys, we're going to start doing blah, blah, blah on Wednesday. I know you don't really do anything on Wednesday. Why don't you take Tuesdays? We'll take Wednesdays. That way we're not both paying for DJs,
right?
Tuesday and Wednesday night.
And you're just bringing more people out to the same general area.
Yeah, so everyone benefits.
They're going to go one place on Tuesday, the next place on Wednesday.
Correct. You really have to build with the people that are around you. So many guys in the restaurant field, they look at their neighbors as competition. I
think it's a sign of growth when that change happens. When you go from thinking of your neighbors as competition to thinking of them as
partners.
Yeah.
It's your mind frame change. Like Bob's Burgers, where he's always looking across at Jimmy Pesto's Pizza, and he's like, he's always so busy in there.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a competition.
No.
You guys could easily be working together with your neighbors. Not everyone's receptacle. What's the word? Receptacle? Receptible. Yeah,
No,
whatever.
I don't know what you're going for.
They're not always ready and open to have the conversation.
Receptible.
They're not always ready to have that conversation with you. Maybe they're a little bit more closed off and their mind's not there yet.
Yeah.
But all right, cool. You gave it a chance. Who cares?
You can be the bigger man.
Keep moving. Yeah, exactly. And you could be doing the trivia night. You get people in the door on a slower night, typically a Tuesday, a Monday, a Wednesday. That way, you're increasing your cash sheets, you're bringing more money in the building, and you're also giving people something to do on a night where they weren't typically coming out to your place, This matters a lot. Take us out of 8.
Once you have your events planned, then you got to talk to someone who's going to help you promote those events.
Damn right you do, and that brings you right into number 7. Partnering up with the bloggers.
Yeah.
They're all out there. There's a lot, and they're showing up daily, repeatedly.
It's weird, though, because they used to not be a thing, right?
Now it's a thing.
It is a thing, and you kind of gotta have to respect it, or at least give it the respect that it deserves.
Sure. And with that said, if you don't know what the bloggers do, especially if they're a food blogger, throughout here they're promoting areas, they're promoting events, they're promoting different foods, different businesses, restaurants. Sometimes it's paid for, sometimes it's very organic. Sometimes they're doing a little partnership pop-up. It depends on who the blogger is, and it depends on how creative you can get into doing events or doing promotions. And you want to gauge traffic. If you're reaching out to somebody that has a blogging platform, you want to make sure that they're authentic. You want to make sure that they really have the following that they claim they have.
Otherwise, they're not going to do anything good for your business.
Yeah, and there's so much smoke and mirrors now, too, where it might say they have 200,000 people following them, but a quick search on Google, if you type in Instagram engagement, you can run that person's account and you can actually see if they have the following they claim or if nobody's really responding to all their stuff.
Cyber stalking is real.
Well, you need to cover your bases, right?
Yeah.
You're not paying somebody $100 for a post if it's
they
not
only
going to
have
get
20
you anything.
followers. Yeah.
Sure. Or if they have 100,000, but not anybody is liking anything.
So let's just say we weren't as tech savvy as you are, and you didn't know about that Google for analytics. How could you just go into someone's Instagram profile and figure out whether or not their engagement was real or is this kind of faked?
Yeah.
Is there a way?
The first thing that you want to see when you click onto a profile is you're checking the followers. How many they have, right? That's
so you've got 16,000 followers. I'm gonna be partnered with you because you're a blogger, though. You have 16,000 followers.
Yeah, but let's cross the T's and dot the I's and make sure that the 16,000 followers are authentic-ish.
Yeah, but that's a lot of followers, so they're definitely real.
No, who knows? So the next thing we got to do is we have to look at the posts and we have to see how many likes these posts are getting, right?
Okay.
We want to see that there's 10% rate maybe of.
So they're getting 150 to 200 likes per photo. They have 16,000 followers. They're real. Take my money.
Well, let's go further though, right?
Oh, even
and
further.
also, I want more than the 300 likes on that. I want to see 1,000. To give you perspective,
okay.
Our cocktail garnish is up to 4,700, and we're at 800 likes on average a post probably.
So that's solid engagement.
So it's very high engagement.
So you're saying that every time you post something, almost a quarter of the people who follow you,
it's a huge amount,
engage with it, not just see it, but actually
and
engage
1,000
with it.
of those 4,000 are fake.
Yeah.
So that really is even a bigger number if you really think about it. So you want to check then the video. Look at their video section because the videos show how many views are there. And you're not really faking the views too much. Most people are not.
That's the real test.
Yeah, the views. If your views are up there and you're seeing thousands of views on these accounts that have 16,000 people looking at them, then you say,
then
all right,
take my money?
Take my money.
All right,
like,
cool.
take my money. I can maybe make some money back. So,
because all that means is that this person truly has an audience that is listening and engaging and paying attention to what they say.
They're worth the money at that point.
So then once they start saying good words about you and your business, then, you got 16,000 people listening to those words.
And, this is a necessary evil. We live in a tech world now where all the youth is using these things. They're looking at Instagram. It's helping them decide where to go. As somebody new to the town of Stanford to some extent, the Hey Stanford account from PJ, we talked to next episode actually, I've expressed to him that he's helped me find places to go. And also, he has verified places that I have decided are great places because he's partnered in posting with them as well. So, these things do work. I am telling you right now, I have used it to go somewhere that I've seen before. And I said, oh, I've been meaning to check this place out. It's been posted a few times. And sure enough, it was a goddamn good place,
Yeah, I've definitely done the exact same thing.
All right, so that's partnering with the bloggers. What do we got for number 6 here?
Number 6, we have newsletters.
And exactly. The first thing you do when you wake up in the morning.
You scroll through your emails, see what's going on.
Exactly. And you're looking at the deals for the day. You're looking at your bills. You're looking at all the important things. A big time that email blasts go out is 8, 9, 10 a.m.
Makes sense. Early bird catches the worm.
Correct. And you're seeing the emails get opened early because people are waking up to check their stuff and see what's happening. And with their commute, they're opening them to read them and see if they're worthwhile. So news blasts or newsletters, whatever you want to call them, this is, to me, maybe one of the most important pieces of business. I'm surprised we have it up here at number 6 because it really should almost be number 1. Because the people that are signed up to your newsletters are the people that actually give a shit about your business the most. The people that are signing up for the newsletters may be signed up because you lured them in with maybe a free appetizer, or maybe you lured them in with giving them a recipe book, an ebook, or something to sign up. This increases the rates of people signing up as well, because once you have this list of thousands of people,
it's yours.
It's yours.
You can do whatever with it you want. It's not going to go away.
And you're not paying extra money for Facebook posts boosts or Instagram boosts.
There's no middleman to kind of filter your messages through.
Yeah. So the earlier that you start building an email contact database is the sooner you're going to start winning. Because when you send out those 1,000 emails and they're all people that care about your business, they're going to click through. They're going to see what you're trying to pitch and sell. They are going to be engaged with you the most.
And they'll be receptive to it.
So it's like, why the hell are you searching for new customers when you haven't cradled the ones you already have that care about your business? We just launched this flash sale with the blood oranges. My email list is extremely small for the Cocktail Garnish Co. We have 140 people on that email list. I haven't been building it up as quick as I should be, and now I'm learning that I'm dumb and I should have been doing it a lot earlier.
But that's why we have these lists, Jay.
Sure. So, for instance, my email blast of 145 people on it got sent out, had pretty damn good engagement, 30% open rates, 20% click-through rates, which is even bigger. And sure enough, we sold $420 worth of stuff.
There you go.
Off of that one single email that went out for 100 people.
And how much money did it cost you to do all that?
It cost me $20 for the month. I've only sent out pretty much one email.
There you go.
I could send out another campaign at the end of the month. That way I'm not overstimulating anybody.
Right. You don't want to show up too often, otherwise people lose interest and they just stop paying attention.
Yeah, and we might have similar results where maybe we sell 300 this time. So, assume that off of 2 email blasts, maybe we do get to the 700 sale mark just from that, off of $20 invested. Why would you not be doing this if you have a restaurant? It's so dumb not to be collecting emails in every chance that you can get. Look into it. Do the research. Google exists. YouTube exists. If you're ever not clear about anything, Google it, because there's guys out there doing it and there's guys showing you how to do it.
Yeah.
Do some damn research. It's going to take a little bit of time, but your return on investment is going to be extremely high, I think, through newsletters. and they're applicable for everything that we're doing here and talking about.
We have our diner sends out a newsletter monthly. It just tells the people who are subscribed what new beers we have, when they're coming out, stuff to look forward to.
And have you seen it work?
Of course, yeah. I have people come in the store and say specifically, I'm here because I saw the newsletter. Let me try the new stuff.
So we should be banging this out a lot more. And once it's automated, it can run to the point where you put people into a flow. That way everyone's going through their own journey at their own time specifically. They sign up to it, they get a welcome email. Here's about our business. We'd love to have you. Here's a free recipe. Next email could go out 4 days later. This is how we make our wings. Have you tried our wings yet? Now another one could go out in 7 days. And then you could trigger one for 60 days to say, hey, come back in. We haven't seen you in a while.
You just enough to keep them hooked.
Yeah,
not enough to be annoying.
You're nurturing. What's up next?
Nurturing and addiction, maybe. Next up here we have...
honestly, number 5's on the list here. And that's running the social media contests.
There you go.
We need to be doing these things if you have any inclination about boosting your engagement rates on Instagram.
Well, so let's just say that we were one of these people who doesn't really do too much social media work. Maybe we're older. We run this old school Italian joint.
It might not be applicable for your restaurant specifically, but I don't think it hurts to start having some type of presence.
So then how do we start? What do we do?
So maybe you're in the old school Italian joint. Maybe you're an older owner. You don't know how to use technology that much. Who's in the building that does know how?
Right.
Can you increase their hourly rate $2 an hour or something?
Get them
to
engaged,
have them
give them a
also
new
do
job.
that?
Right. But so we've got the person. What are they doing?
Yeah. So if you want to run an Instagram contest, they're very similar and typical because we want to hit the marks that matter. The marks that matter are a lot of times you need to share the post, the contest post. You want to share it. You're giving something away for free also, something that is worthwhile enough for them to come out for. Maybe it's an appetizer. Maybe it's a gift card for $50. It doesn't even have to be $300. Doesn't have to be $1,000. People will do it because it's free.
Exactly.
Don't oversell or don't overgive what you don't need to be giving. With that said, they're sharing the post. You're asking them then to bookmark the post also.
Which seems to be more important than liking posts nowadays.
Huge. And then you're asking them to maybe tag a couple friends below. This all of a sudden starts this pyramid of people seeing it, and it boosts the engagement levels up.
I think as we circle back to talking about building your email list, having them tag people in the post for the contest is a great move because now you're increasing your list or your audience by following their friends.
Yeah. Well, Instagram's algorithms are saying, hey, why is John tagging Bobby in this post? All right, let's see if Bobby clicks through to it. Bobby clicks through the post and he opens it up. Instagram's locking that information in.
Yep. So now Bobby's going to be one of your faithful.
Well, yeah, and they're saying, oh, this account must matter because this person also liked it. And then if that other person comments back on that, that's even bigger. All these things are factored in. These algorithms are very, very complex. They're not a simple, easy, you went to school so you could just put it together. These are super data nerds that are putting these things together to make it work. So
I believe it.
Here's the other factor, right? You're doing this extra work. You're getting the contest going. But you're doing it to get engagement happening.
Right.
If you now forget to post 4 days in a row,
then you've just killed your momentum.
Yeah, and you're knocking yourself back down a few pegs, and it all went for nothing. So you need to have consistency. It's not that hard to wake up in the morning and say the first thing I'm going to do is post something to Instagram.
No.
We do it every morning on the account, and I noted that my growth on cocktail garnish is going way further than the other competitors that are out there because I'm doing the right fucking things to get people going, and we're being consistent.
Yeah.
Correct. And it costs you nothing again to do the contest. We talked to McLovin with the Nutcrackers about it a while back, and he was saying he was doing contests all the time.
Seems like he does at least one a week.
Oh, it's so much. It's the smartest thing for him to do. It keeps his engagement rates extremely high.
Yep.
Huge. So that's number 5. Run the contests. Number 6, we talked about the newsletters. Number 7, we talked about partnering with the bloggers. Number 8, we hit you with the, what was that? Doing the actual events, right? Live events were number 9, and 10 was the press release. So then that brings us into 4 right now, right? What are we talking about here? Nooms, I thought you had. Nooms, you got this. You were supposed to hit me in the face with it. It's utilizing the reward programs, right?
Utilizing reward programs.
We're utilizing having people come back in by launching reward programs that gain people points, typically.
So we're giving people a little card to punch every time they come in?
I mean, you could. That is a reward program, right?
Absolutely.
in the most primitive way possible, yeah, you get 9 subs, your 10th is free.
There you go.
How many was it?
I definitely had one of those cards that was for this pizza place in New Rochelle. Go in 5 times, you get a free slice of pizza.
Yeah. Hale and Hardy in New York City. Every
There you
time,
go.
too.
Yep.
You got those cards. They're in your wallet. And
There's
they
nothing
would
wrong with those
consolidate
cards.
them. They'd consolidate them for you if you forgot your card one day and
that's
you had
nice.
it. You were like, hey, can you take this one and then give me this? Yes, they're cool. They work. They incentivize people coming back because you want to get your free stuff.
And again, you're just like building excitement for that trip when you get your free shit.
Yeah, and you're spending money anyway.
Yep.
It's like using a credit card. Like you're getting money back on your credit card if you're using it. That's why people use them.
Exactly.
Furthermore, now, what'd you say the one that Justin uses is called for
Mobile
Smokehouse?
Bites.
Mobile Bites.
Yeah.
And that's like
I
part of
believe
his POS.
it's like a $1 to point transaction. So whenever the customer spends $1, they get a point. You reach a certain number of points, and you get, I think it's a free order of wings for every $25 spent.
Well, awesome. Look at that.
Beautiful.
What's your bill average when you usually go out to a bar or restaurant? Like
60,
$80?
70, 80
like
bucks,
fucking, yeah, you're getting money back. You're getting free apps. Why would you not use it?
Exactly.
I actually use it for Starbucks because
You're
I'm
addicted
getting
to coffee.
Yeah, I'm getting coffee in the morning, sometimes on the go, and my card is loaded, so I've got money on it. And when it dwindles down to nothing, instead of reloading my card because I hate seeing money go out of my account, I use the free points until I'm out of free points again. So maybe I get 2 free coffees, 3 free coffees, and then I have to reload when I'm out.
Yeah.
And then I let it build back up again.
There's nothing wrong with that. You know you've got your free coffees coming up at the end of the list.
And I will say that Starbucks actually incentivizes the people in their rewards program to participate in the gamifying of their reward program.
How so?
Where every once in a while they say, if you get 3 coffees between these dates, then we're going to award you an extra bonus 30 points or something like that. So now they just locked you in and trained you to go in for 3 days
Yep.
in a row or 4 days in a row, whatever it is.
That's sneaky.
And you get the extra points.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'm not planning on going the 3rd day, and then I realize that I was like part of the game, and I say to myself, oh shit, I'm gonna get like 2 free coffees though if I just go buy one.
They're definitely gaming you though, because like they're getting you to spend more money just so they can give you some extra coffee.
That's the goal. I'm okay
Yeah.
with it. They did
Yeah,
very
no.
well with their job.
The thing is, you will be okay with it if you're a happy customer. If you're happy with the services and the products that they're providing you, you don't mind spending the money there in the first place.
Yeah, and when you're giving away one of these items, you need to be giving away something that is relevant enough to your business, that's maybe a staple of your business, enough to get them going about it. You know, they want to actually come in, they want to really utilize the points, give them something that they want.
Right.
So Justin, for example, with Smokehouse gives them the wings. The wings are a staple.
Exactly.
They're
People are
beautiful.
coming there for the wings.
Correct. So now you get a free something of whatever you were coming there for anyway.
Exactly.
Like-
You love this place now.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Alfredo. The chicken Alfredo is wonderful in your place. Maybe you give them a chicken Alfredo meal if that's what they're coming in for.
Exactly.
Or maybe your grandma's slice of pizza is the best pizza that you've got. Maybe they get a pie after they hit, whatever the equivalent of 3 or 4 pie purchases are, and it stops them from going to a competitor or somewhere else, or they're more likely to come to you. So there's a lot of different ways to play it. You want to look at the spreadsheets. You want to look at your costs on things. You want to figure out what you're giving away. You're not necessarily losing. You're just creating a bigger valued customer and training them to keep coming in.
Right.
And that's the rewards points. That's number 4. Hit us with 3.
Next, we got special items on the menu.
Like what kind of special items?
Like giving your kitchen the chance to flex their culinary muscles a little bit, maybe making it into a game between all your line cooks.
So, sure. Okay, cool. So, like, you're cooking something and you're proud of it. And you're like, hey, guys, look what I did. Taste this. You call the servers in, the management to come check it out.
Yeah.
This is our cost on this item. Like, you got to price the cost out, right?
For sure.
And then you got the guy next to you on his salad station or his pasta station, whatever it is. And he's also coming up with something where he's like, hey, this is the item that I want to test. This is my signature blah, blah, blah pasta.
So then you get them both tasted and you decide which one you're going to run as a special. But either way, you've now got your employees excited, your staff is excited, and then your customers in turn will be excited by it.
And that's internal like inclusion, where people want to feel like they're part of the staff. It helps you build culture in your environment, in your space. And furthermore, when whoever voted for whichever side of the meal, when they win, they're going to go post that to their social media and go, check this out. This is the item of the night. This is a cool item. It's great. I tasted it. I loved it. Blah, blah, blah. And they're going to sell it all night long.
Then you got happy people selling happy food.
Totally. Like, why would you not do this? And that's not the only way to do special items, though, on the menus.
No.
You know, you could do specials, certain types of specials.
Right.
It might be a buy one, get one type of burger deal that exists a lot.
2-for-1 burgers.
And
Seen that before.
totally. And with that said, you do have to be a little bit careful with your asterisks of rules that happen.
Make sure there's rules and restrictions that apply.
Yeah, because otherwise you're going to have somebody come in for the BOGO burger. They're going to wrap it up, and then they're going to just take the second one home, and they just got a half-price meal, and they're going to drink water the whole time. Yeah. So the question is, like, can you restrict some of these things and say these are the minimums that you must hit?
Yeah, I'm sure there's ways around that. You just got to be creative with it.
Sure.
Figure out what's going to keep your customers happy, but while also not breaking the bank.
Oh, you want a BOGO burger? Well, it must be purchased to activate that with an appetizer.
There you go.
Or you must get, 2 drinks or, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And people will get around it a little bit, and that's just a piece of the party, right? Like, that's the cost of doing business. But those exist. That's a good way to go. Get a special running. It gets your staff excited. It gets social media going. You could even run a contest for the servers. Whoever sells the most of that item gets $50 or whatever.
I actually think I heard the servers at USC talking about that the other night. So I work at the grill station. We have a grilled bronzino dish on my station. Normally I sell 1 or 2 a night.
Yeah.
But then I sold like 5 or 6 of them. Come to find out they were having a contest to see who could sell the most of them.
Yeah.
If you sold 4 or more, you won something. Nobody sold 4 or more. The highest somebody got was 3. But it works.
I feel like bronzino is never like the go-to item. Like, people aren't really ordering it that crazy. I think I've ordered it once in my life, and I was probably sold on a contest from the server at the place I was at.
If you order some random weird shit off the menu, there's just a chance that someone mentally pushed you there.
Yeah, and, taking into number 2 here, let's talk about loss leaders and what they are. They're just here as a staple to sell at a discounted price or an actual loss. And this is designed to get people into the building and get them moving. Because you know that if you discount something so severely and people come in, they're going to start drinking. They're going to take shots. You're going to make all of your money back on your high margin items of drinks, right? Or you might get them to get a full meal. You might say, how have you seen loss leaders before?
I think the most common one that I've seen was like a 25-cent wing.
Yeah.
50-cent wing. I think, so the first time I ever actually experienced that, I was one of those casualties of doing business. Because I was still in high school, so I couldn't drink. But me and my friend showed up at Beachmont for 25-cent wings, and the waitress brought us our wings and our sodas. And I'm sure she was thrilled.
So pissed. She was
sure
pissed.
She was thrilled.
So, and that exists. And if you were a little bit older, though, you would have been drinking.
Yes.
And running up a tab.
And I wouldn't have been a loss for the bar that night.
Yeah. All of a sudden, 25-cent wings on a slowish night get you out there and get you drinking, where you're just boosting these sales on a Tuesday, Monday, where you don't really have that many as it is. Now, all of a sudden, you create the hottest night of the week on the strip or wherever you are and packing the house out because you've done such an absurd deal.
Yep.
But what you realize is, although you're giving away wings at a loss or for free, whatever it is, or
you're
a
making
small
your money
discount,
back up on the drinks.
You make it all back on the drinks. And occasionally, yes, you're going to pop in there and have somebody that's just drinking a water, which is obnoxious, but it's just the cost of doing business again. A lot of different ways that this happens, and it might not just be wings. It might be a buy one, get one burger where the second one's your loss leader, right, to get them in the door. But then you say, all right, you got to have 2 people with you. You have to also buy an appetizer. This, again, it seals the deal for people coming through the door, and that's what you want. And then, to make it even a step further, you could tie it back to doing a newsletter blast about it.
So you tell people about their loss leaders in the newsletter, so then they see it first thing in the morning. They're thinking about it all day. They can't wait to get there after work.
Yeah, and they're there. And that's it, man. Like, dude, we just outlined everything that people need to do to succeed.
Well, most of the things that people need to do this, or some of the things that people
Oh, we didn't do number 1.
We didn't do number 1.
What's number 1?
Number 1 is you got to have care. You got to have passion. Because at the end of the day, the reason we're all here is hospitality.
Hospitality. Yeah, no,
hospitality. It's important.
That is the number 1 thing. Because how many times do you hear these nightmare stories about how uncomfortable somebody was out to eat because the management was just yelling at all the staff right in front of them, or they seemed to just not care. The servers were just leaning on a podium. They could care less.
You can tell when people don't really care that you're there. You
Oh,
know?
you're hurting your business by not actually caring about having a business. Like, how can you not care about your goddamn business? It's
But at the same
insane.
time, you can also care too much. So there's a balance. You got to find the right balance.
Sure. Hospitality number 1. Just to recap things with you real quick too. Number 10, we hit the press releases. Get them together. Get them out to where they need to go. Number 9, we did live music. Go figure out, talk to the wedding venues, figure out where live musicians are. Usually they come into the spots. If they haven't come into your spot yet and you brush them off, you have to then go find them. Yeah. Wedding venues, probably a good way to go find them. Or
That's
just
not
a
a bad
local
idea.
Google.
Yeah.
You know? That's 9. 8 was...
Participate in hosting events.
Yeah, trivia, monthly
Tuesdays,
events. Yep,
Bourbon
ladies'
dinner
night,
series,
whatever it is. That stuff works. It gets people out there. Number 7 was
Presenting to bloggers.
everything works hand in hand with each other. It's so crazy, isn't it?
A little bit.
And the bloggers are going to help get your message out. Maybe they're just going to help in general get your place out there if people don't know it exists yet.
But they're not going to do anything if you choose the wrong one. So you have to make sure that you're
It's a partnership.
partnering with the right person.
Totally. And then that goes into 6 with the newsletter.
Yeah.
Build your email lists out. It's going to start small, and then next thing you know, you're at thousands of people following your email list. And it's super important and so damn easy to send out a blast that will get to everybody on your list, and you're going to get a percentage of people coming back in asking about that stuff, especially if whatever you're presenting in the newsletter has merit to it. Give them value. Don't give them a
Don't waste
reason to
their time.
cancel.
Exactly.
Don't hit them 12 times a week either, though. That's obnoxious, and they're going to get off your list. So figure out and plan well where you're going to put your newsletters out at. Number 5,
Run social media contests to boost engagement.
love it. And then once you boost engagement, you have to continue being consistent
Because
to
it's
keep
about
it going.
Momentum.
Correct. 4. No. You hate 4. I could just tell you hate 4. It's the reward. It's the rewards.
Yeah, it's the reward programs. Utilize reward programs.
Get them going. Get them going early. Let people know they're there. Send that out in the newsletter. Introducing the new reward program. Sign up here. Click this button. Really easy to filter people through. And then you could track the metrics on the back end of the newsletter to say how many people actually clicked here and went to it and signed up. Awesome. 3 is what?
Specials. Run specials on the menu. Get your team involved. Get your staff involved. Get your customers excited.
Cool. Love it. Love it. Do it. It's going to get everyone going. It's going to show people that it's not the same boring menu that they've been looking at forever. Now you're doing something trendy. You're giving some creativity to the chefs. You're giving some control to your serving staff and back of house staff to decide what actually makes it to the menu. Don't just throw shit on a plate, though.
No.
Cost it out. Have them cost it out to do this correctly, right?
Exactly.
What's 2?
Loss leaders.
Loss leader. Yep. You're giving something away to get some traction, get people into the door. Like you said, 25-cent wings, a buy one, get one burger. It's endless. A free dessert with an entree.
Free dessert's a common one.
You know, it doesn't matter. You're doing something that you're essentially cutting down what it normally costs for either free or a way cheaper price to then get the sale going. And then number 1,
Just
hospitality.
Basically giving a shit.
Yeah, care.
None of this stuff is going to matter if you don't really give a shit.
Care. But that's all we got for you. Go get your stuff together. Go make sure that you're tackling some of these things. They're really easy to do. Set yourself a day aside to just do this, or assign some of these tasks to somebody. And
Delegate.
then review them. Yeah.
Delegate.
And then review them before they actually get launched, just to make sure they look right. You know?
Guys, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button because, algorithms.